Guess I'm the one who's gonna start the meeting. So today is Wednesday, June 28th, and I will be calling the legislative committee meeting to order. The time is now 4:02. First off, I just want to start off by so tired. I'm just now leaving Wake Up Wednesday, so please give me a little grace. Before diving into this year's legislative wins, I want to extend deep appreciation and recognition to the executive director, Brandon McGee. Thank you, Mr. McGee, whose unwavering leadership and vision have guided the Social Equity Council through one of the most, if I must say, challenging legislative sessions to myself as I've been able to drive into this type stuff, right? Um, and again, man, I applaud you for leading the charge, Mr. McGee. I also want to thank the Social Equity Council staff for the support that they continue to give throughout this. And I guess I'll talk about some key legislative wins. Public Act 25-101, Drug Control and Cannabis Regulations Overhaul, which eliminates the 20-mile separation requirement between social equity ventures, EJVs, enabling greater flexibility in ownership and business development, expands allowable transactions between cannabis establishment types, also introduces a standardized licensing signage requirement for consumer transparency. It also adjusts certification terms for marijuana use and updated hemp product manufacturing rules. And also Public Act 25-137, the council's agency bill, which mandates all cannabis establishments to maintain an active social equity plan and submit annual impact reports and social equity status upon transfer to non-equity owners, and also open a 120-day application window for cannabis business revolving loan program. Requires the council to adopt a strategic plan and code of ethics, including mandatory training, which I applaud, extends the duration of social equity ownership and policy provisions, and reform council members' attendance and rules for fairness and flexibility. Now, HB 7181, the Cannabis, Hemp, and Tobacco Enforcement Act, which permits cultivators to convert to micro cultivators license, extend growth space, build out deadlines to December 2027, enhance pharmacist presence flexibility, and direct the council to conduct a cannabis market and equity impact study. Again, I applaud that. Establish a statewide cannabis and hemp enforcement policy board council inclusion, allows cultivation partnership with hemp producers and farming outside disproportionately impacted areas under conditions. Then HB 7287, um, the, which consolidate funds into the Cannabis Social Equity Innovation Account, which is the acronym is SEIA, to streamline access and eliminate red tape. Allocate the SEIA funds to support access to capital for business in any industry. Again, I applaud that. Technical assistance and workforce development, community infrastructure investment in the disproportionately impacted areas. This legislative actions represent more than policy. They reflect institutional commitment to correcting historical inequities and fostering inclusive economic growth. They also position the Social Equity Council as a national model for equity-centered cannabis governance. Um, I guess the next steps I think should be educating communities and stakeholders on the SEIA funding opportunities, monitor implementation of annual social equity impact reporting, and, and prepare the council's upcoming study, and ensure grassroots voices are included. Continue legislative advocacy to deepen and expand equity protections and support structures. Thanks again to the Director McGee leadership and the SE team and commitment. We have laid a solid foundation for continued progress. As legislative chair, I remain dedicated to pushing forward policies rooted in justice, access, and opportunity. Thank you, and that's my report. Any questions? If no questions, as my good friend Avery would say, I entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting. Thank you for coming.
Well, I'll say a few things before we adjourn, and thank you, Mr. Chair, and to the friends that we have on the call. Thank you all as well on behalf of your clients. I wish your clients would have showed up, but glad y'all here. I will say, just to underscore what Chair Betts have shared, the 2025 legislative session really provided, I think, some clarity around a lot of the policy points that Chair Betts have shared with you. And I'm not going to go through them all. I think he did an outstanding job providing an update on them. What I will say is, and folks on this call and whoever will view this later on, the real work begins post legislative session, and that we have to operationalize a lot of the policies that are now in statute or a public act. What am I saying? Our staff, will begin looking at all of our policies that we have in place, and those new policies, changes that were voted and signed by the governor will now have an impact on how we are processing and engaging many of our social equity entrepreneurs. So over the next couple months, the team and I will be working to clean up documents and share those with our existing social equity entrepreneurs, as well as the Connecticut Cannabis Chamber, our council, and other stakeholders, so that we're all on the same page with our new policies and our procedures. I do want to lift one very, or rather underscore one very important piece of all of the policies that have been passed, and that is the Social Equity Council, in partnership with our council members. We're going to convene a working group to really study many of the recommendations regarding multiple areas, but just to rattle off a few, our cultivation sector. What resources are available for municipalities that receive cannabis tax revenue? Those municipalities with moratoriums, equity joint ventures, business structures and practices. The list goes on in terms of the number of items that we want to really hear from the industry. We also want to create opportunities for non-cannabis folks who reside in DIAs interested in being a part of the resources that we have available here at the Social Equity Council. So while many of us will have vacation, the Social Equity Council is riding a lot of momentum post legislative session. So there's a lot of work underway from our perspective. So again, thank you, Chair Betts. I want to publicly thank my team for, this is our first session together. And while it's not our first legislative session being a part of the process, nonetheless, on this side with the SEC, we really did an outstanding job getting our agency bill passed and signed by the governor. Lastly, what has been called out in House Bill 6930, my team and I, in partnership with the council, we've accomplished probably 80% of what was called out in House Bill 6930. And that is our strategic plan and so many other items that were called out in the comptroller's audit and recommendations that we have since operationalized within the agency. So I'm tooting our horn, and I'll keep tooting it because there's a lot of great work underway here at the SEC. So that concludes my remarks, Mr. Chair. I'll turn it back over to you.
Again, thank you again, Executive Director, Mr. McGee, and your team for the great work that, you guys definitely did in this session, which I think it was a fight, but you guys did well. Again, thank you. I guess
So I don't think you need a motion because it's just us. So
I always try to go and do things correctly. So since it's just me, I have a good day.
you too. Stay hydrated out there. All right.
All right, thanks, man. Yeah, have a good one now. Thank you.
Thanks.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.